Hey, coin enthusiasts and collectors! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to dive deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially lucrative topics in the world of numismatics, the 1983 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, isn't that just a regular penny? Well, what if I told you that this tiny coin, which you've probably seen hundreds of times, could actually be worth a fortune? In fact, it could be worth up to $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million. But how could a simple, everyday penny be worth so much? Let's find out. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video about rare and valuable coins. Now, let's jump into the history, the rarity, and the incredible value of the 1983 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny, one of the most iconic and well-known coins in the United States, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by artist Victor David Brenner, and quickly became a symbol of American history and values. Over the years, the design of the penny has undergone some changes, but the likeness of Abraham Lincoln has remained front and center. Throughout its history, the Lincoln penny has gone through various compositions, including copper and zinc, as well as changes in size and weight. By 1982, the U.S. Mint switched the penny's composition from 95% copper to 97.5% zinc to cut costs, as the value of copper had risen significantly. However, this switch wasn't immediate, and some coins in 1982 were struck with the older copper composition, while others used the new zinc formula. This brings us to the year 1983. The year 1983 was a key moment in U.S. coinage history, as it marked the full transition to the zinc-based penny. Most of the 1983 pennies were struck using the new composition, but a small percentage of them were still made from the older copper mix. These rare copper pennies are the ones that can potentially be worth millions of dollars. So, what makes the 1983 Lincoln penny so special? Well, the most important factor lies in the transition process. In 1983, the U.S. Mint inadvertently made a few pennies with the wrong composition. These rare pennies, often referred to as error coins, are extremely valuable because of the mistake in the production process. But there's even more to the story. During the minting process, some of the 1983 pennies were mistakenly struck with a copper composition rather than the intended zinc mix. The copper pennies, although rare, were distributed in circulation just like the standard zinc pennies, making them extremely hard to find today. Why are these copper pennies worth so much money? The answer lies in the scarcity of the coin. The U.S. Mint only produced a very small number of these copper pennies in 1983, and since they were released into circulation like regular pennies, most of them have been lost or damaged over the years. As a result, finding one of these coins in good condition today is like finding a needle in a haystack. In fact, it is believed that only a handful of these copper 1983 pennies exist today, which makes them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Some experts estimate that the value of a single copper 1983 penny could be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. However, in certain cases, the most pristine specimens could fetch as much as $17 million. So, why exactly are these copper 1983 pennies worth so much? There are several factors that contribute to their incredible value. 1. Rarity. The most important factor is, of course, rarity. The U.S. Mint produced a very limited number of copper pennies in 1983 due to the composition change. This means that finding one of these rare pennies today is incredibly difficult, especially in good condition. 2. Minting error. The fact that these coins were minted by mistake adds another layer of intrigue and value. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare minting errors, as they are considered to be more valuable than coins that were struck according to plan. Point 3. Historical significance. The 1983 copper penny is also historically significant because it represents a key moment in U.S. coinage history. The switch from copper to zinc was a major change, and the few pennies that were made with the wrong composition are considered a unique piece of that history. Point 4. Condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A copper 1983 penny in mint condition, with minimal wear and tear, will be worth far more than one that is worn or damaged. If you're wondering how you can check your pocket change for a potentially valuable copper 1983 penny, there are a few key things to look for. First, it's important to remember that the copper penny is very rare, so the odds of finding one are slim. But if you're lucky enough to come across one, here's how you can identify it. The most obvious way to tell if a 1983 penny is made of copper is by using a magnet. Since the zinc pennies are made of a copper-plated zinc alloy, they are not magnetic. However, the copper pennies are magnetic because of the higher copper content. If your penny sticks to a magnet, it could be a copper 1983 penny. The date on the penny is also crucial. A genuine copper 1983 penny will have the correct 1983 date, while a zinc penny will have the same date but be made of zinc. Copper pennies have a distinctive reddish-brown color, while zinc pennies tend to be more dull and shiny. The color difference is easy to spot, especially if you compare the 1983 penny to a more modern one. As mentioned earlier, the condition of the coin greatly affects its value. A coin that's in pristine condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or damage, will be worth significantly more than a worn or damaged one. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much is a copper 1983 penny worth? As we mentioned earlier, the value of these rare pennies can vary greatly depending on their condition. A typical 1983 copper penny in average condition might be worth anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s. However, in the case of the most well-preserved and well-documented examples, the value can skyrocket to astronomical figures. 1 Copper 1983 penny, in particular, has been known to fetch as much as $17 million at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. The market for rare era coins, especially those with historical significance, is extremely lucrative. Collectors and investors alike are constantly on the lookout for these hidden gems, which only drives up the demand and value. As of today, the market for rare 1983 copper pennies is still thriving, with collectors continuing to seek out these valuable coins. While the odds of finding one in your pocket change are slim, the rarity and historical value of these coins make them a highly coveted item in the world of numismatics. If you're serious about collecting or investing in rare coins, the 1983 copper penny is definitely one to keep an eye on. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, understanding the potential value of this rare coin can give you an edge in the marketplace. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1983 Lincoln penny and its potential value of up to $17 million. This small, seemingly ordinary coin holds a fascinating history and the possibility of a life-changing windfall for the lucky collector who happens to find one. Remember, the rarity, The minting error and the historical significance of these coins make them incredibly valuable, but finding one in good condition is no easy task. If you think you've found one, make sure to get it appraised by a professional coin dealer to find out just how much it's worth. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to discover a rare 1983 copper penny worth millions. Until next time, happy collecting!